What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. I wanted to share with you some things that I've noticed throughout the course of these brief 30 years that I've been on this planet, okay? I've realized that it's very easy for me to develop sort of an idealistic approach to life, right? And to me what that means is essentially, basically, I'm only focusing in on the positive things in life and I'm ignoring all of the negative aspects or the more negative aspects of reality, okay? An idealistic approach is sort of like I become like Wanda from WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch, who like superimposes their own matrix of a perfect world and forces everyone in it to conform to this dreamscape that I've created, right? I can become very positive in this state. I can become very motivated, very inspired, and that sounds like good things, right? Like I can get this confidence in myself, this like just me being the best me that I can be. I'm changing the world. Bro, if we just come together, we could heal the world, bro. We could solve any problem you could think of if we could just come together and cooperate. You know what I mean? And that might be true, you know, whatever, but it's like, it's unrealistic to me. This ideal, the way I would explain to you is like this. A lot of the times we come up with, especially when we're very young, this idealistic version of a parent or our parents, right? We believe they can do no wrong. They're like gods to us, and they're always there for us, supportive. They never make a mistake. They're perfect. They're never going to die. All of this. And through experience with the real version of them as you grow older and mature, that idealized version of that parent in your head is gradually broken down into nothing. And you see that it wasn't true. None of it was true. You made it all up. You know what I mean? You're forced to acknowledge this at some point, right? And it can be heartbreaking. So that's sort of what I mean when I say that the idealistic approach is unrealistic in this way, right? Now, on the other hand, it's very easy for me to develop like a nihilistic approach to life, which to me means I'm only focusing on the negative things and I'm ignoring all of the more positive aspects of life. And so essentially, life to me can seem very meaningless. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? There's no point. Nothing that I do is going to change anything. You know what I'm saying? There's no point in doing anything or trying anything. It's all futile. It's all some effort to harbor some false sense of security through our identity. And it's bullshit. It's all a lie, basically. You know? So a nihilistic approach to me is a hopeless approach, right? When you focus only on the negative aspects of things, it becomes pretty hopeless pretty quick. You know, it's heartbreaking. And on the other hand, the idealistic approach is sort of hope-filled, but it's so overinflated that we're able to overlook certain things that get in our way. You know what I mean? Certain realities, certain aspects of reality that will get in our way of this idealized version of the world that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? That never will exist, never has existed. So I've discovered that it's very hard for me to develop and maintain a realistic approach to life. Which to me, a realistic outlook on life means taking the good with the bad, right? Understanding that there is a flip side to every coin. For every tail, there is a head. For every head, there is a tail. This is illustrated in so many different ways around us. For example, right? Just to live this life that you're living, you must die. Right? Just to live, you must die. What a fucking paradox. You know, what a cosmic joke. You know what I'm saying? Better make sure this one's worth dying for. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do it. Right now, you're breathing oxygen. I'm breathing oxygen. This beautiful oxygen is sustaining our life. But at the same time, It's a major component in the oxidation process of the body, otherwise known as aging. So right now, this oxygen that you're breathing on one hand is sustaining your life, and on the other hand is killing you. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with the sunlight. The sunlight is sustaining your life, but it's also killing you. Exposure to oxygen, to sunlight, causes decay. You gotta die. You know what I'm saying? There is this like dual nature to things here, right? Now, everything that you eat, everything that you consume, rather, so not just physical food stuffs that you're eating, but the ideas that you're entertaining, the entertainment that you're viewing, you know what I'm saying? The information that you're gathering from the world around you, all of this works like this. So when you eat food, for example, digestion takes place, right? Digestion occurs, and during this process of digestion, two things happen to the food that you eat. The essential nutrients that you need that sustain your vital life force energy are extracted. This is the first thing that happens. The second thing that's happened is the rest of it, whatever's not needed by the body, is turned to excrement, solid waste that you must expunge from your system, and you probably flush it down a toilet and get it as far away from you as quickly as possible. You don't want to hold on to that stuff. In fact, if you did hold on to that stuff within your body, it would become toxic, right? And kill you, okay? So you want to get rid of that stuff, and everything that you consume does this. Has some valuable properties, and then there are some things contained within it that need to be expunged from the system. There's a flip side to every coin. You understand? It just might take a while for you to digest. Thank you. So, some ideas, some examples of ideas that are like double-edged swords like this, okay? There's this idea, very liberating, very powerful idea that says, you and I, each of us, we are each 100% responsible for our actions and the consequences of our actions. That is a fucking powerful realization for a person to have, because what this means is, if you are responsible for where you're at today, if you are responsible for your position in life, if this is all due to your own actions, this means that it's possible for you to change this, to go in a different direction. You know what I mean? Because you are responsible for this. You are 100% responsible for the consequences of your actions. That means that you have some power as an individual with your choices, with your decisions in life, what you do, right? That's a very powerful thing. But it also, on the flip side, means that you have to take responsibility for your mistakes. And you probably make a lot of mistakes if you're anything like every other human being on the planet, right? But that can be hard to face. But when you had this realization that we are each 100% responsible for the consequences of our actions, we are forced to stop blaming people, right? We're forced to stop playing the victim and take responsibility for our own actions, and that shit can suck. It can be a rough process. You know what I'm saying? Good luck. If you're there, good luck. And I'm proud of you. Another idea that does this, right? There's this idea that we cannot control other people. We can only control ourselves, right? We can only control the way we respond to other people. We can only control essentially what we say and what we do. We can control our own behavior. We can, to an extent, control our own feelings and our emotions, or our responses to our emotions. Okay? And this is a very powerful, very liberating idea, right? Because what this means essentially, if you cannot control other people and you can only control yourself, that means the only things that really matter are within your control, first off, right? And it means that you're free from other people. You're free from other people's opinions and beliefs, and you're free from other people's feelings and emotions. That's none of your responsibility anymore, right? And you understand, if you have this realization, that no one has control over you. No one can make you angry. No one can make you sad. No one can make you depressed. No one can make you happy. No one can make you feel love. Okay. That's a very, very powerful thing. But it gives way to a bunch of shit too, right? If I'm only responsible for me, and I have no responsibility, no obligation whatsoever over your emotional reality, if that's all on you, it sort of gives me the right to be relatively unconcerned with the way I'm influencing your feelings, okay? So I should just be able to bully you and say, shut the fuck up, bitch. And if you get upset, if you go and cry in the corner about that shit, that's your fault. I have nothing to do with that. I didn't make you do that. I didn't make you upset. I didn't make you mad. I didn't make you cry. Grow some thick skin. Grow up, bitch. So there's some shit right there. You know what I mean? And that sort of needs to be expunged, right? Because really this realization, what it does is it informs you of something very important. That no, you do not control anyone else. You cannot control what other people say, what other people do, what other people think, how other people feel. None of that, right? This is proven by like crazy people all the time, right? I could convince you to go kill somebody, for example, right? And I'll get charged with like conspiracy to commit or solicitation of, but I won't get charged with the murder. You will, dumbass, because you're the one who did it, right? I don't have responsibility over that. Only you can control what you say and what you do, right? So this is sort of built into even our law system. I don't have responsibility over that shit. But what this realization does is, no, we cannot control people, but we do have an influence over people, and we do have a responsibility over that influence we have to other people. You see what I'm saying? But it's possible that a lot of shit can be produced. I remember when I thought that I understood this idea that like we can't control other people. We can't control it, so their emotions have nothing to do with me, bro. So I can walk around and be me unapologetically, bitch. You know what I mean? It turned like, so I can walk around as condescending as I want to. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Because that your stuff doesn't have anything to do with me as long as I'm feeling good about it. You know what I mean? So there's this flip side to every coin. To every idea that we consume, you will digest it. Some useful things will be extracted, and then a lot of it will be shit left over. And if you don't get that out, if you don't spend some introspective time, some self-reflecting, meditative time, really digging into these ideas and getting out in the world and experiencing things, putting these things to practical use and maybe recording the results or something like this, you will begin to understand these things. That of course we can't control people, but you definitely have an influence on people, and we are definitely responsible over our own relative sphere of influence that we can't escape. You know what I mean? We can't escape it. If I'm communicating with you, I'm influencing you. I can't escape it. You know what I'm saying? So in summary, a realistic approach to life is one in which we accept the good with the bad. We're not leaving anything out, right? You should go and watch, if you want more details on this, you should go and watch my video called I Had a Vision and Sat in the Throne of God. Okay, I had a vision, I sat in the throne of God, and I saw everything from God's point of view. I could see all the good, all the bad, all at one time, and I saw a realistic version of the world, and I couldn't help but be moved to compassion and love. Anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.